it was all about making it a year sober, right? Staying sober for a year and doing all of that and building a foundation that would allow me to achieve longevity um, and quality at the same time with a good game plan. What's going on, y'all? What up, Ronnie? Ronnie?
Don't do it.
Ronnie?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I think
Don't do it, man.
I think Ronnie quit the pod, y'all. Ronnie done quit the pod. My guy ain't here, bro. My guy ain't here. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. You know it's your boys, Michael Oakley, Ronnie LaDuff, built by the Red Stick, presented by Elevate Treatment and Legacy Center. We coming to you every Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, dropping all the TikTok reels, the Facebook reels, the Instagram reels.
Lord.
Um,
Facebook Reels.
As you can see, my young whippersnapper of a co-host got sick. He got sick. He runs around too much, doing too much stuff, and so it wears his body down to where he doesn't have a good immune system, and he gets sick.
I rarely get sick, though. But when I do, I'm a little, you know what? I rarely get sick, man.
So you went to the doctor?
I've been sick in like 4 years.
You went to the doctor yesterday?
Yep.
What they gave? What they diagnosed you with?
Just a little streptococcus.
Streptococcus.
I didn't even believe COVID was still here.
So you got the vid?
Vid and the strep vid.
Oh man. Oh man.
Then I wasn't even in my town. I'm up in Monroe working. I'm like, something ain't right, bro. Like, I gotta go get tested or something. I gotta go. Normally, I'll just like feel bad and I'll push through and just keep going, but this one wasn't letting up, so I knew it was. Then I was shaking and I was cold. I'm like, okay, I probably got fever.
Yeah.
So that was the case.
Yeah. So you're joining us from an undisclosed location?
I'm not. You know, I'm not a homebody. I don't like being here unless it's at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm still here, and this is the only thing I'm doing today. After this, I'm medicine back up, and I'm getting under the bed.
Getting under the bed.
I'm here for the pod.
You're not getting in the bed?
I'm getting under that motherfucker.
You're getting under the bed.
Get under it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you're feeling bad. The Built by the Red Stick community, our fans, our loyal followers, as you would say, our babies, our loves.
Yeah.
They're wishing you well.
Well,
I know
the only way they can wish me well is they run them subscribes and them likes up.
Run the subscribes and the likes up, baby.
You feel better, baby. Run them up.
So what's going on in your world, man? We going back to back on solo. We did listen, my friends, my people. Yeah. What up, world? We had an exclusive, a fire, an intelligent, a real big stepper, as they say, guest lined up for this weekend. Or not this weekend, for this episode.
Yeah.
But due to Ronnie getting sick and all the moving parts, we postponed it. But next week.
Next week.
And
look, I just want people to know this. I did not come to the studio because I'm a PUS. I did not come to the studio because I respect y'all, and I didn't want to get nobody sick because I'm highly contagious right now. That's why I didn't want to come to the studio.
He's lying, y'all. We have a group text message, and me and Ken both told him that we didn't mind him coming to the studio. Ken's our producer.
Yeah, but that wasn't a bit. See, that wasn't. I had to use my head and help stop the spread.
Ooh, man. What we gonna talk about today, man? We talk about.
Look, I don't listen.
We can talk.
I told you before we went on camera, bro. I am foggy headed. I am not myself right now, but I'm here. I'm here for the people. I know one thing I do want to talk about.
Hold on, before you get to that,
a day after this episode airs, my bro, my guy, my main man is gonna be 9 years sober.
The big 9.
Big 9, not the little one.
Not the
That
little
is
one.
a long time, bro.
I got a
So
9
I also
years
want to
old.
use this time for you to kind of like take us through these past 9 years and like what it took to get there.
The past 9 years.
Yeah, man. Not not the whole thing, but like what have you seen that has been consistent in your life that worked that allowed you to be able to see nine? And at what point did you find that thing?
I wasn't ready to be interviewed today, Ronnie. You caught me. You got me. Man, I think one of the most important things was just being surrounded by good people and recognizing when to let go and when to hold on. So like in my 9 years, like there's been so much change. And I think like a big thing with addiction is that we don't like change when we're in our addiction and we're scared to face all of that. So they talk about we blot out the miserable tolerance of our existence, right? Because we don't want to face all that change, and we don't want to accept it, and we don't want to learn from it, and we just continue to go and do the same things over and over and over again, right? And so being able to adapt and keeping a good support system, and we've talked about it, and I think it's important because we don't always highlight it, but maintaining a good connection with God, right? That's first and foremost the most important thing. Um, but the ability to be able to accept change, because like especially I tell people all the time. My first, like I was blessed. I see a lot of people go through a lot of struggles in early sobriety. Like that first year, that first 2 years, first 3 years. Man, I'm not gonna lie. My first 4 years were like a cakewalk. You know, just walking hand in hand. The last 5 years, they've been trying, and it's been a lot of adaptation and maneuvering and accepting and growing. I had an old timer tell me one time. He probably won't like that I'm calling him an old timer, but it's okay. It's one of my mentors. We had him on the show, Mr. Voices of Recovery himself.
Shout out my guy, the best swimmer on this side of the Mississippi.
Best swimmer on this side of the Mississippi. But we had he told me one time. He said, you don't get. They say you don't get no walking around sense till you're 5 years sober, right? And I can understand that. Like, I know that my approach in our early days, like the days that me and you met, right? Like when I was early working in the recovery industry and early, I still say early in my recovery because I was, 3-4 years. But I was reflecting. So ADD moment. Normally around this time, I do a lot of reflection, right? Just because it's coming up on that year mark and stuff. So I do a lot of reflection, and so I was doing some reflecting on like, man, I know my approach helped a lot of people, but I was also a pretty big asshole, So I've done a lot of growing in that aspect. But I think like you said, like we were talking, to get back to the foundation of your question, what was some of the things that like really kept me in the ability to see nine was just being open to change, not holding on. Like I've had friends come and go, relationships come and go, jobs come and go, but I've always been open to maneuver in those situations and create bonds, right? Because I think life is a lot about having relationships.
Right.
Right? I don't believe that we're meant to be isolated creatures or isolated humans. And so I'm not the most social person, right? Like I don't we I think we've made reference to it before. You know, wise philosopher by the name of Kevin Gates once said, uh, "I'm not."
Great friend, but I ain't friendly.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That is that's so true with you though.
like, I'm a good friend, man. When we get to that point, I'm a good friend. But before we get to that, I'm just not there. And I think that has to do with boundaries, right? Like being able to place boundaries on what's important. And you know, when I made the decision that I wanted to turn my life around, um, they say, when you're getting sober, it's a selfless program, right? Like selfishness is the root of your troubles. Um, and I agree with that, but I also believe that there is a healthy selfish.
Yep.
And like I decided that I was gonna make me a priority. And not in a selfish way of like I want what I want when I want it and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get it, but I wanted peace. Like my peace. I was going to be selfish about achieving my peace. I was going to be selfish about finding joy. I was going to be selfish about finding compassion and love and understanding and tolerance and all these, good words that we use to describe me. I feel like I'm pretty compassionate.
You have been soft lately.
No, I'm not soft.
You are soft now compared to the mic I'm in. But with this your time. Go ahead.
So yeah, that's kind of this kind of thing, those are some of the things that have helped me, trudge, as they would say.
Yeah. And that kind of goes to what I was told by my sponsor when I came in the rooms. They said you get sober for yourself, but you stay sober for everybody around you. So that goes into what you just said, that healthy selfishness and
I might disagree with that.
huh.
I think I might disagree with that.
I'm gonna tell you why you should, of all people, agree with that. Because think about this: God forbid, let's say you relapse, you have a plethora of people that's depending on you to feed their families. So
I
you
know,
instantly would affect those people's lives.
and I get that. I get that. But I think, and hear me out, because it's not necessarily an argument, but I think we get sober for other people, but we stay sober for ourselves.
You like it that way?
I do, just because we always talk about it, and you've quoted me on this on multiple episodes, and I've said it all the time. Nobody wakes up on a Tuesday morning and was like, you know what, I want better. I think I'm going to get sober. It's
Right.
normally that external crisis that me and you always talk about that drives people to get sober, and then they create the internal desire to change.
Right.
And so I understand the aspect that you're talking about, that like as you accumulate some time, there's more people affected if something happens. But
Right.
I think there's things that no matter how much time, right? Because me and you've had this conversation, I think on air and off air before, but as alcoholics and addicts, man, we have this innate ability to make people like us and be close to us. And so I think no matter what, right? Early sobriety, long sobriety, short term, middle, whatever, if you go back out, you're affecting a lot of people. And look, man, me and you've talked about this, and I want I want it to be known that it's definitely different strokes for different folks. You know, what works for me might not work for somebody else, and what works for somebody else might not work for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that as an entity, as a movement, may I say, of sobriety and mental health is pushing across our youth, our middle aged, and everybody, that we focus on being inclusive to all brands and all walks of life and um all of what recovery and sobriety encompasses, no matter how it looks to you, if it's working for them, then let bygones be bygones.
100%.
Which I'm ups. I'm 50-50 on the fact that you're sick and we weren't able to bring our guest in, but we haven't brought real awareness to it. And as this episode airs on February 28th,
Yeah.
the last day of the month, this month is important.
Yeah.
It's Black History Month.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that it's important as we talk about our platform and the united message of hope and love and acceptance of all that we talk about. Like, that's what this is. That's what this. I'll call it a month long holiday, a month long celebration, a month long focus of, and I think it should extend, and we should always highlight just people in general. But let's highlight the things that are important in the Black community and the different cultures that we face.
Yeah, and we don't want our people to, like you said, and I'm gonna just hammer it again. We don't want our listeners to think we failed. Like the person that we had planned for today, he exudes Black excellence,
Yeah.
and it's safe to say that. And we know where he's in the trenches. He's in the trenches, and he's actually like affecting change. And he got his movement. He got a movement going too that didn't gain some traction. So we're gonna make that up for y'all. So before I get back on you, because I know you love when the spotlight on you, I just gotta say this real quick. So I had 2 episodes happen
Ah,
last week.
my guy.
Yeah, man. And I'm not gonna say no names. Of course, I ain't gonna say no names, except one of them, because I asked for permission to do that first. But I had this nice young lady reach out to me. Been watching the pod, and had somebody close to her that needed help. Got him in treatment. Like, you know what I mean? He's in treatment now. He's excited. He's ready to do great. So that definitely is what we about. We're built by the Red
And
Stick
it's working.
platform.
What we're doing
And
is
I'm in the
working.
hospital, huh?
What we're doing is working.
It's working. It's
It's
working.
working.
And like we always say, we could just reach one person. And we gonna keep doing it. So I'm in the hospital, and I see this guy. He's looking at me weird. He's like squinting, with that kind of like I know you type look.
Where do I know you from?
He finally walked up to me, bro, and it was like built by the Red Stick. I'm like, what? You? Yeah, bro. So look, shout out Brian, man, at the lake, man, for checking in and watching every week, bro. We appreciate that. But this what we do it for, man.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching. You never know who's struggling with something, just scared to say something. And they see us on here getting vulnerable like every week, and like that's what it's about, bro. That is the vision that you initially had, and that we came together and continued together on the relaunch. So like that made my
That's love right
whole
there.
day. Like couldn't nobody tell me nothing. Like the song, can't nobody tell me nothing. But
Built by the Red Stick.
yo, you can't tell me nothing. But
But
yeah, back to you now. So yeah, shout out to them people, man. That's great. And anybody else, like we here. DM, message, Michael, Axelrod Oakley, Ryan LaDuff on Facebook, Built by the Red Stick DM, hit us up. Like that's what we do. That's what we here for. So when I first met you, Mike, it was a well polished product in my eyes.
yeah,
Well polished product. Um, and so you just had this like mystique about you. And then as I got closer, and I ain't gonna go into detail because that's personal information. As we got closer, I understand that it was far from perfect, but you had that foundation and you had that thing that carried you, and which is why I asked the question that I asked. And man, you had multiple events that, hell, I could say even me, it probably would have drove me out the rooms. You know what I mean? And to see you just like take that head on, and like you still here today to say like I'm picking up 9 years, like that is amazing. And so I'm the lucky one because I get to see that blueprint. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of be around that and just navigate. It's like, I'm not the captain, even though I have the ability, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm right there. And so it gives people like me hope that, hey man, like it's gonna be okay.
Man, and I think so for people who don't know, right? A little bit about me was, I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, right? Mom and dad still married to this day. So I grew up in what I guess would be considered middle class family. And like my mom and dad, they worked hard to give us really good opportunities. Um, and so not as early as I can remember, but as early as like social constructs and social judgment started to come in. So like third grade, fourth grade, as early as those days, like I remember feeling alone, right? And I say that with hesitation, not because it's a made up feeling. It's just because sometimes on the hindsight of it, like on the back end of it, looking back, like I really shouldn't have felt that way, but that's how I felt, right? Um, and so started using substances and all of that good stuff, and not good stuff, but all that stuff pretty early on, right? Like fifth, sixth grade around is when I started experimenting with substances and all of that. Um, and so as my life progressed, so did my addiction, right? And it brought me to some really dark places. And we don't always talk about them and we don't always highlight them, but we've both experienced like really, really dark places.
Right.
And so in 2016, on March 1st, that's my sobriety birthday. Um, that's when I got sober. And you talked about building this foundation, and one of the things that is very important to me is how a structure and for lack of a better term, a game plan and a good one can carry into multiple facets of your life. And so early in my recovery, welcome to Elevate, a place for people like you, built by people just like you.
We're committed to helping all elevate from the destruction of addiction.
I hope I would give somebody who's either new in recovery or that's currently struggling with addictions, today can be the last day that you struggle, the last day that you wonder how you're going to have to chase down that drink, that fix, whatever the case may be for you.
At Elevate, we embody more than treatment. It's about passion, love, understanding, truly being your partner on your path to recovery.
Our staff treats substance abuse and co-occurring mental health disorders with a multidisciplinary approach to best fit our clients' needs. We all just embrace each other. We genuinely care, check up on each other. And it's not an act. You matter. You're more than what you've allowed yourself to assume you were.
When perseverance, hard work, and dedication meets, success happens.
At Elevate, we have a variety of programs to fit our clients' personal needs, such as intensive outpatient, and the aftercare program.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, give us a call. Elevate. Do more than recover. Leave a legacy. It was all about making it a year sober, right? Staying sober for a year and doing all of that and building a foundation that would allow me to achieve longevity and quality at the same time with a good game plan. And so one of the biggest things in that structure, that foundation that you mentioned, was a team. And so, like, in everything that I've done in my sobriety, right, my second life, as I like to call it, has been focused on having a good team, right? Because we can't do things alone. We're not meant to be isolated. We're not meant to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders alone. Funny thing, like me and you, and we won't get into details, but it maybe early last week, I think it was, we called and we were both going through the same thing, and neither one of us had talked about it with each other. And it was different scenarios, but it both hinged on me and you trying to carry the weight of everything on our own shoulders. And it was a reminder to me when we talked about it, the importance of having a team and the importance of communication and the importance of not being able to do things alone. And so as I come upon 9 years and as I continue to look for the future, that's my motivation to those around us, to those who hear us, to those who are impacted by our conversations and our interviews and our funny moments, is that neither one of us do this shit alone.
No, that's real.
We do this with a team of people in multiple, and like I said, multiple aspects of our lives. And when it comes to our employment, we do it with a team. When it comes to our businesses that we own, we do it with a team. When it comes to this podcast, we do it with a team. When it comes to our sobriety, we do it with a team. It's not just a us thing.
Yeah.
It's not just a me thing. And so I think that, that's, we always make the joke about the subscribers, like, make sure to subscribe and stuff. I want y'all as part of our team. I want to build a community on a social media platform, that we have a community that we can go to and talk about these things. I want people to feel free and empowered to, in one of our videos, say, hey man, I'm going through this, and have a whole community of people interacting with a conversation and talking.
Yeah.
That's my dream. That's my goal. That's my vision of Built by the Red Stick, is it's a community of people wanting to spread hope, wanting to spread love, wanting to spread joy.
Yep. I concur.
You concur?
I concur. That's my word for the day.
What does it mean?
I agree. To agree. What, you thought you was gonna catch me slipping?
No. I apologize. I got distracted by a work text message.
That's the team. That's the team needing you. The
Team
needs you, boss. Boss man.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think it's important to be vulnerable as I come up upon this milestone in my life, to let people know that this is normally a hard time for me, because with the self-reflection that comes as I embark on a new year, comes self-doubt, and comes, like, am I far enough? Like, I don't have there's one area in my life that I don't have a team. I mean, I have people that help me, but I don't have a team. and the
Oh,
huh
oh, no, no, I was.
what
I thought
what
it was something.
what Ronnie? Um,
Six.
but there's one area in my life that I've just been I've been operating selfishly in for a couple of years. Um, and it's just it's time for me to kind of look around and want a team. I don't want to not have a team in there anymore.
There you go. Am I gonna be a part of it?
What do you mean?
Am I gonna be a part of the team to help find the star player?
Oh,
I'm trying to
we're maneuvering.
all cough medicine aside. I'm trying to stay with you. You know what I'm saying?
uh,
But speaking of team,
you'll
right,
always be a part of my team.
everybody know now we shoot in advance, right? So this episode will air Friday. So that means today, my son is playing in his first playoff game.
Come on.
They made the playoffs. They playing Bruley at 6 p.m. tonight. So y'all send my baby boy Jalen Duff some love.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Man, my dude was huge in that game the other day, man. 3 threes in a row. You know what I'm saying? He be, he remind me of what I could have been if I would have stayed out of trouble.
Yes, indeed.
Then my baby girl, I say baby girl, the oldest, she had her first little car incident. No other cars were involved though, but she's fine.
Good.
This was the day when it was raining real bad. She was leaving Mimo and them house, and Mimo and Papa house, and kind of lost control, went off the road, so she was scared. But no party was injured. We good.
We're good.
We good.
So, what, who they playing? Bruley. Bruley.
First round of playoffs.
All right.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'm trying to get myself together. I'm trying to get this fever gone. I'm trying to cleanse myself. I'm trying to eat all the turmeric and honey and lemons I can eat because I have to be in the building.
You're gonna be in the building. So what's the scouting report looking like? We confident. Bruley got a good squad.
Bruley pretty nice.
Yeah.
What I like about Livonia, that's my son's team. The boys play defense. They scrappy and they young.
Yeah.
They got one senior on the team, so like the whole core of the team coming back for the next 2 years. But them boys, when I tell you them boys play defense from the first whistle to the last whistle.
From the start of the clock to the end of the clock, they playing deep.
They playing defense, and they defense create offensive points. So I like our chances.
Hell yeah. Well, we and the Built by the Red Stick community gonna be cheering on the Livonia Wildcats.
Oh.
We gonna hope for a super special night for Mr. Jayla Duff. Number
12.
Number 12.
12.
Number 12 in the building. From beyond the arc. Number 12. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Hey, shout out Shakir too, man. Shakir came to the game with me, man.
Man, they know Shakir. Get going transportation.
Hey, yo, Shake showed up, man.
Come on.
Where you was at?
I was supposed to go.
You was in traffic.
I was in traffic. You was running behind. You had a little car incident yourself.
Man, texting and driving, work. Don't text and drive, ladies and gentlemen. If any youngsters watching it, this is the second time I ran off the road texting and driving. But I thought I was going to miss everything. Dude, so I'm picking up my other son from actually dropping him off at track play, Lodge. And going through the parking lot, texting and driving, trying to get some last minute stuff by the admits together. Boom! I done hit a curve probably about 1.5 feet tall, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the curve. My tires just spinning in the air, bro. I just sat there. I was so embarrassed, bro. Mike, you know how you in bed, the back of my neck got hot, but I was like, I can't believe this just happened again. So I'm gonna just sit there, Maybe they don't see me. Maybe they don't see this 1.5 ton vehicle sitting on top of this curve stuck. That's black in the daytime. I look to the left, the whole track team at my window. I'm like, fuck, I gotta open the door now. So I roll the window down. Just out of pure embarrassment, the first thing I say is, don't text and drive, youngster. So needless to say, bro, the whole track team grab my car, pick it up. I need a bigger car. High school.
I would.
My car up and move it off the curb.
I just said, man, that curb came out of fucking nowhere.
But what made me feel better is the coach said that always happens. He said I'm not the first to do that. So fix that damn curb right there in the parking lot, Central. It's a hazard.
No, don't text and drive.
They pick my car up and
don't text and drive.
And now I got a flat. So I had to change the tire, change the flat. Didn't have time to really go get another tire before the game because we was gonna be late. So I drove all the way to Bro Bridge on the spare.
Ooh, on the donut?
Yeah.
Brave soul. You're a brave soul.
I know, man. I prayed. I was like, God got me. I'd have been through worse situations than that. You know what I'm talking about?
Look, I'll tell you a funny story one time. And this is a complete squirrel moment, but it's just the crazy shit. You're talking about surviving crazier shit. So when I was ripping and running, I had this car. And I was going to meet up and purchase some illicit substances. And I was driving. And I had my, at the time, girlfriend in the passenger seat. And the windshield wipers didn't work. And it started raining. Pour, like couldn't see. Like one of them downpours. Bro, tell me why I told her to grab the wheel. I broke the windshield wiper off the car, and I'm leaning out the car, windshield wiping while she's driving.
Bro, did that work?
We got there.
Bro.
Bruh.
You soaking wet now, though.
Huh?
You soaking wet.
Oh, and I'm just getting it, bro, so she could see and steer. I'm hitting the gas halfway out the car, just windshield wiping, going down Government Road in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, bro. Yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
I don't know if I'd have did that, bro. I'd have probably just pulled over.
Had to get there, bro.
What you did once you got back in the car soaking wet?
Put those illicit substances into my body.
Didn't matter. Yeah,
Didn't matter.
You right.
Didn't matter.
You right.
And then we just sat in the parking lot for a little minute, waited for the rain to calm down, and drove back to the house.
That sounds like a romantic evening.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, so we've come a long way. We've come a long way in life. You know, as I remember those moments, I remember where I am. Try to remain grateful for the things that I do have, because as I said that this time is a hard time for me, because as I view things that I feel like I should have, or feel like things that I want to achieve, I also am immensely grateful for the things that I do have in life. I do have a good team that surrounds me and supports me. I do have two beautiful boys that love me to death. A great relationship with my parents. A business that allows me to provide for my family. A great ability to spread hope and a message and a platform to do that. And look, for those who don't know, I can qualify myself if you need to. I was, for those of y'all who are struggling, who think, man, I can never get there, you're looking at two dudes who were right there, bro. I'm telling y'all, don't let the well put together and goofballs and I think that's an important too thing. I'm all over the place, I'm not going to lie, but I think that's another good thing that our platform does. Like, our jokes and our playful manner, like, allows people to know that sobriety is fun. Sobriety is a good time. And our serious moments allow people to know that you can get through those serious times,
I didn't think it was going to be fun. I didn't. Like, we talked about before when I got sober. I was like, man, I can't never go to Twin Peaks no more. Like, what I look like eating hot wings with a Sprite or something like that. You know what I'm
Sprite.
saying? Everybody know you have your Sprite. Everybody know that you have your, your alcoholic beverage with your wings. But that's just not the case.
Mine was crawfish boils, bro. You know?
Yep. Yep. South Louisiana, crawfish balls and
Beverage.
something that rhyme with Hudheiser.
A beverage of your choice.
Beverage of your choice.
Of
You
the
know what I'm saying?
alcohol
But
variety.
That's just not the case, dude.
No.
I've had more fun in sobriety than I've ever had.
Man, we look at the things that we get to do. For example, I mean, we just talked about it last episode. Like that vacation you went on. That's not possible when we're ripping and running.
100%.
You know,
100%.
I got a vacation booked in September. It's not possible without my sobriety and the.
Always leaving, bro.
You're not here, Ronnie.
Because God had chose for me to be here.
Okay, and God had chose for me to go on this vacation. It's gonna be.
We're going on our honeymoon too in July. So
Come on.
It's gonna be dope.
Where y'all going for the honeymoon?
We're going on a tour in the water, like you.
Little cruise. Little cruising.
Going on the Caribbean or the Caribbean. How can I say it?
Either way.
Going
Tomato. Potato.
That Yucatan look. Straight up the Yucatan look.
Where y'all going?
She got the route. It's one of the. I think it's you said it.
Yucatan and
the route that time.
Yucatan and Cozumel.
And another one. What was the other one you said? There's like 3 or 4 islands we hit.
How many days?
7.
You going to Key West?
I don't know. That's in Florida?
Yeah.
No, we leaving out of Galveston.
Yeah. Key West, Freeport, Bahamas, Nassau, Bahamas, and Half Moon Cay.
That sound right.
Yeah.
But and then what's the other one though? It's 2 of them.
Jamaica, Cayman Islands. I don't know.
That's all Caribbean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
you going.
Have fun.
You going.
We're going to have fun. I ain't gonna lie, son. I'm back in the gym. My bad, bro.
Hey, look, you ain't got to tell me that I got a new trainer working the shit out of me.
Hey, shout out the new trainer, man.
Man, shout out to the gym. Shout out to the gym.
Look, I seen you with no clothes on in the hotel room, bro. That's why I had to give you your props.
Ronnie.
That sounded bad.
Ronnie.
I'm sorry.
Ronnie.
We gotta clean it up.
Ronnie.
We gotta clean it up. I'm sorry. So it's not like that, ladies and gentlemen. We was at a conference together that we stayed at a hotel, and I had left something in this room, so it was late at night, and I had to get back to bed. He opened the door with no clothes on.
That's not what happened.
Oh.
So we were at a conference together in Lake Charles. We had separate rooms. He had got some candy, and it was in my. I had brought it up to my room, and he wanted to come get it, and so he came, and I didn't have a shirt on. I still had pants on. I didn't have a shirt on.
Hey.
No, you said I didn't have clothes on. I didn't have a shirt on. I had clothes on. I didn't have a shirt on. He got the candy and he left.
But that sounded like the same thing I just said.
Yeah. Same. My dude's sick as a dog, bruh.
Hey, man, I'm here, though, baby. I'm here.
Man. So where were you when you said you was out of town when you got sick, man? Where were you?
So I was in Monroe, man. So once a month, I go up north to all the different treatment facilities and speak to the clients and kind of tell my story and identify myself with them, and then, let them know what program I'm there on behalf of and what services we offer and things like that. So this particular month, I usually go, I usually go Monroe one day and then drive over to Shreveport, sleep in a hotel, then wake up the next day and do the Shreveport area. Well, the Shreveport area, I wasn't going back until March. So I was just doing the whole Monroe side, like even hitting other facilities that I normally don't hit. So on a Sunday, I got up. I'm feeling weird, but I'm like, it's gonna pass over. You know what I mean? Because I don't get sick, so I can't be getting sick. Then I had like that smell in my nose that you get, like that sick smell.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever, it's gonna pass. So I wake up Monday, I drive to Monroe, and as I'm driving out there, it's like, man, I'm really feeling bad. I'm starting to feel worse, and I'm getting chill bumps. As I'm driving, so I gotta cut the air off, and then I get high, cut it back on, that stuff. And so I had a lunch schedule. So I go to the lunch. I make it to the lunch, and man, as I'm sitting there, I'm just like, y'all, like I really don't feel good. Like I'm starting to feel worse. Uh, and so like my throat is like hurting more. Like I got a headache, and I'm cold, and I'm starting to shake a little bit. And so I'm just like, man, I'm gonna have to just clear my day. So I just go to the room, get some medications, like trying to, what I'm saying, shake back for the next day. Man, that night in the hotel room, it was horrible. I couldn't sleep. And when I got up the next day, I was like, okay, like the way I feel, I know I got a fever. I just don't know how high it is. But like something is wrong. Like I need to go get checked. So I reached out to Ryan and was like, hey man, like what urgent care like in this area like takes my insurance. And so I left the room and went straight to the urgent care and was there for like 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Ugh.
So they did all their tests, gave me my diagnosis, and I just drove straight back home, bro.
COVID.
Yeah,
COVID.
I know, bro. I don't even and listen. I know it's real because people have died from it. So I'm not being like desensitive or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not trying to desensitize the COVID stuff. I just didn't think it was real for me.
Is this the first time you had COVID?
Huh?
Is this the first time?
Second.
Oh, second.
Remember the first time I got it? We was doing the Christmas
Yeah.
at Elevate.
Yeah.
And you made everybody get out the room once it came back positive.
Yep.
And you sent me home immediately.
Immediate.
I never forget it, but I had on a blue Nike sweatsuit with the cool gray 11s on.
Well, I know COVID's real because I've had it like 7 times.
Yeah, you had it a lot. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get sick often. I don't. But when I do get sick, I be like a little bee.
Well, ever since I got on my little fitness kick, bro, I haven't. And a knock on wood, I feel like my immune system's been much better.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't been sick a lot and everything, so.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I gotta shake back soon though, bro. I got to, because they got how ironic that the flu games come out Saturday, and I'm over here sick.
you gonna have the flu release.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really giving out the flu when I'm delivering people their shoes. You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, brother,
Hey, oh yeah, real quick too. As we shoot today is the day we're shooting. It's my bro's suspect birthday, man.
I know.
Happy birthday, suspect.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, his birthday today, man.
I saw a little notification that it was his birthday.
Did you really?
Yeah, we friends on the Facebook.
Oh snap! All right.
Yeah.
So shout out, suspect.
Shout out,
birthday,
suspect,
baby.
Man. Before we wrap it up, man, you got anything else to leave the people with?
Man, I just want y'all to know that I don't feel good. And I'm joking. Nah, man, I love y'all. The people that's been reaching out, that helps me.
You're part of our
sense
team.
Purpose. Even though I'm confident in myself, it gives me a sense of purpose when people allow me to help them, their loved ones, kids, whatever the case may be. And I'm just here to promote peace, love, healing, change, and make you laugh a little bit. You know what I'm saying, on the side.
When they reach out, they become part of our team, bro.
Hey, that's it. That's it. I appreciate y'all.
Well, I appreciate you being part of my team and my journey over the last 5 years of my 9.
Yep.
You
I wouldn't have it any other way, man.
You have now been a part. You have now been a part of my life more than half of my sobriety.
Heck yeah.
My guy. Hey, listen. If
What's
you
up?
not you, the people.
Oh,
If you haven't yet, do me a favor and go to YouTube, smash the subscribe button, and while you're subscribing, just go ahead and watch a couple episodes, man. See what we got to talk about. We appreciate it all, man. We like we said, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. And we love y'all.
we definitely love y'all. Definitely love y'all. Definitely. Shout out to my parents too for never missing an episode.
Shout out.
Moms and pops, bro, they've been locked in, bro. They've been locked in, bro. We got a great team around us.
We do. We love all of y'all. Now for the takeout.
Man, well, we thank y'all for rocking with us on Sick Day. The subscribers, we can do more. The likes, we can do more. The shares, we can do more. But we are so appreciative for what we have right now. Man, we love y'all. We do this for y'all. And as always, we'll be back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by the Red Stick, baby. Built by adversity.
Led by courage. You can't tell us nothing. Hope you feel better, brother.
Thank you, Bo.